good, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Aviator KJ, and we back with another video. So look, today we got something just a little bit different. We're gonna be ranking all 12 SWAC marching bands from 12 all the way to 1. So look, this marching band season is gonna be special, bro. And that's because of the marching band portal. We got, different directors going to different programs now. We got new leadership going on. We got several bands making major changes behind the scenes. So I feel like that means that this season is going to be one of the best, most competitive seasons that we've seen in a long time. So I'm gonna be doing this. It's gonna be a preseason ranking, so it's kind of like what bands I think is gonna be the best in the fall. So I'm gonna be basing that off of things like musicality, marching arrangements, entertainment, just like a wow factor, just like overall performance. And I'm basically gonna be combining what the band did, in 2025 and what I think the band is gonna do in 2026. Putting that together and making a preseason ranking. So I already know some of y'all probably gonna disagree with me, and that's cool. But get in the comments and let me know what you think I got right. Let me know if you think I got something completely wrong. You know what I'm saying? Just get in the comments. You can make your own list. You know what I'm saying? But just kind of interact with me. I'm gonna try to interact back with y'all in the comments. And yeah, so with that being said, we're gonna get straight into it. Let's do it. I bet. So the first band we got is PV. Really PV a little hard to place for me. When I heard them in person last year, they really didn't sound that bad. But they had a lot of mistakes. But overall, they sound wasn't bad. They just was messing up, bro. Um, really, my biggest thing is I don't really know too much about their leadership, they band style, so I don't really know what they could come with this upcoming season. Um, but yeah, if they clean up their mistakes, I feel like they'll be alright. So I'm gonna put them around like B2. They like B2. Um, Alabama State, they really impressed me last year. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I got to hear them at the Labor Day uh classic battle of the bands, and I heard them again when they went against Jackson State, and they sounded really good, bro. I'm not gonna lie. They probably made the biggest jump when it comes to like improvements. And I'm really proud of their trumpet section. Like they really done came out. Um, and they also have a new band director. So I'm really interested to see how they can, build off of that momentum they got from last season. So yeah, I'm gonna put them. They A2. I ain't gonna lie. All right, so next we have FAMU. So a lot of people hate on FAMU. You know, FAMU is not everybody's preferred style, especially when it comes to like swag bands. But they're a good band, whether you like it, whether you like their style or not, bro. Like they sound good, they perform well on the field, and I feel like they slowly adapt into the swag style of playing. You can like hear, how they improving when it comes to like adapting to their style, but you can also hear that it's kind of like a restriction. Like you can tell that they trying to get there, but it's just like something that's just blocking them. It's something that's off. But they almost there in my opinion. And they still one of the better bands in the SWAC. So uh, put them right behind Alabama State. BCU, I really kind of feel the same way about BCU. Like they sound pretty good. Only thing with BCU is they book is the same every year. And of course they add a couple new songs, but I feel like their arrangements and they book need to be better, man. Especially, playing in the SWAC with all these bands. And they also don't battle a lot either. They don't really travel too much. So I can't put them high. Um, and put them C tier. But I would love to hear them more. Love to hear them, expand their book a little bit more. Next, we got the Sonic Boom of the South. Um, it's no secret this is the best band in the SWAC. Um, They've been on top for the past couple of years. Honestly, I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. Uh, it feel like every section in the band is getting better every single year. And then on top of that, we got, a goated staff, Dr. Little, Mr. Johnson, Mr. Pruitt. They elite, man. Every time I watch them perform, it's just breathtaking, bro. Like, and this is no bias, no glazing. It's just facts, bro. Like they a well-oiled machine, bro, and it's gonna take a lot for another band to knock them off. So S tier, number one. All right, we're gonna keep it in Mississippi. We got Valley next. So Valley, they really impressed me a little bit last year. I ain't gonna lie. Especially during Mardi Gras, when they battled Southern. Uh, to me, they kind of like showed flashes of what they could become, but it was just like it just wasn't enough to be, really up there. But now, they hired Mr. Deontay Kennedy, and that's huge, bro. Like that's that shakes up the whole swag, bro. Because if you know Mr. Kennedy, his arrangements are one of none, bro. Like his style is so unique that you could close your eyes, bro, and you would know that it's a Mr. Kennedy arrangement. So I'm really excited to see, what he gonna bring, um, to the band. They also have some more directors. I'm really excited to see what Valley gonna do. Um, but you can't really put them too high because they haven't been in the field yet. This band staff hasn't battled, a Jackson State or, a Southern or a Texas Southern. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna put them at A for now, but they probably gonna move, during the season. We gonna see how it go. But yeah. So next we have Southern. So Southern, this one's a little controversial, bro. A lot of people been saying Southern fell off. And to a certain extent, I agree. I ain't gonna lie. If you go on your YouTube right now and search up Southern University 2014 and compare them from back then to now, it's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say it's because Hamer left. Uh, but to be honest, who can really know? If you're not in that band room, you don't really know what's going on. But last season I really thought that Southern improved just a little bit, from what they had been, putting out. I feel like Southern kind of lost their identity, and this is coming from someone who was, in the swag battling Southern. I felt like they were so caught up in trying to, beat us that they lost their identity. Like they was trying so much, to one up us and do all of this that they forgot who they were. So I feel like if Southern can get back to where they were, and with them adding Bear to the staff, hey, I feel like that might be the missing piece that they needed, bro. And don't get me wrong, they still, one of the top bands. But I just don't think that they at that, legendary level that they were known for, years ago. So they still a A tier. I'm gonna put them right above Alabama State. They like tit for tat. All right, so next we got Alcorn. Alcorn is one of the bands they seem to get better every single year, but for some reason it never feels like it's enough to put them in like a I don't know, in like a superior tier. Like I feel like their biggest battle is consistency. Like if they can really put everything together, they truly gonna be a problem. Cause last season I feel like one of their biggest wins was against Texas Southern in the fall. I ain't talking about the spring at Mardi Gras, cause that's a whole nother story. Texas Southern whoop, it was terrible. But but yeah, I feel like if Alcorn can get together their consistency, um, they gonna be a pretty good band. But I'm gonna put Alcorn right here in this B tier, above PV though. Yeah. All right, next we got Texas Southern. Watch out for this band. Watch out for them because they ain't nothing to play with, bro. From they sound to arrangements to I feel like their arrangements be having so many wow factors, bro. You know, they exciting to listen to, bro. And I feel like every time they play, they make you pay attention to them. And right now I have them sitting right behind Jackson State. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see these two bands battle, bro. I feel like that's what the culture need, bro. We need to see that happen. I feel like that would be the battle of, the decade. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's two great bands right now. If somehow if we can get these four bands into a battle, that would be nice. Also, Valley too. That would be a nice battle. That would be a nice battle. All right. Next we got UAPB. So I ain't gonna lie, I ain't really hear too much from UAPB last season. So I ain't gonna pretend like I know a lot of things about them. But I do remember hearing them. Uh, what was it? The Southern Heritage Classic last year. Um, and I feel like I feel like they could benefit for more lower brass. Like if they had some better trombones to kind of like add to the meat of the sound, they wouldn't sound the way that they do. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of I'm gonna put them D tier because they don't really give me that wow factor. I ain't gonna lie to you. Um, but I'm gonna try to lock in with them and see what they doing this season. And yeah, all right, so cool. Next we got Alabama A&M. So A&M, I feel like this probably one of the biggest mystery going into the season because they had some rough moments last year, like some really rough moments. But also when they played against Jackson State, they didn't sound that bad. But really, there's every band. Like every band that go against Jackson State gonna bring their best. So you can't really judge them off of that. I mean, like that's their full potential, but like how they really play is gonna be against somebody like when A&M went against Valley. Ooh, I ain't mean to do that. When A&M went against Valley, um, I feel like that was the true A&M and they played down the Valley, and Valley smashed them bad. So, you know, now that they added Hamer, the person that they say, the reason for Southern success back in the day, um, and I believe they also added somebody else from Southern. Uh, there's a lot of experience coming in, but I don't know, y'all. I still feel like it's gonna take them a couple years, maybe a year to really get to that top tier of being like a serious contender. Um, but I'm definitely excited to see what they got to bring. Like, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I'm gonna put them B tier um, in between Alcorn and PV. They gonna have to show me something before I move them up. All right, next we have Grambling. Um, Grambling for sure sounded better than they did in 24. Because when I battled them in 24, I feel like that was one of the biggest L's I ever gave in my life. Cause like, look it up. JSU versus Grambling, 24-0 and a fifth. Like it was terrible. But last season, I ain't gonna lie, they made some improvements. I have to give them credit for that. Um, I believe I heard them at the Labor Day Classic Battle of the Band, so they had made some improvements. But at the same time, I don't feel like they where they need to be to compete with the top tier bands. They moving in the right direction, but I'm gonna go ahead and put them C tier in front of BCU though. All right, y'all. This is my list. I got Jackson State number one. They the band to beat, in my opinion. And I don't know if y'all watch ESPN with Stephen A. Smith, First Take. But the list is fluid, bro. You know what I'm saying? UAPB can come around, knock everybody out. You know what I'm saying? You never know. But realistically, I feel like the two bands, probably three, that's gonna move the most is probably gonna be Valley with Mr. Kennedy on staff, they probably can move, you know. I feel like A&M probably gonna move, depending, you know, on how they sound. And I feel like Southern probably gonna move too with their new addition to their band staff. So I feel like this season is probably gonna be one of the best seasons that we've seen in a while. Each band I feel like is gonna be competitive. Ain't nobody really just gonna be, you know, dead in the water. Um, but yeah, let me know what y'all think about my list. If y'all feel like my list trash, drop your list. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could do a top five. You could do the tier ranking list. Just let me know. Interact with me in the comments. I'm gonna try to, you know, get in the comments with y'all. You know, kind of have some conversations about it. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for watching the video. Go ahead and drop a like and subscribe if you haven't. And have a blessed day. Peace out.